two words, trust and transparency. How is our relationship with readers changing?
Yeah, really good words as well, trust and transparency. You know, the trust issue, people come to the Sydney Morning Herald because they trust what we tell them. And we have to be forever mindful that that's a precious thing. It's a precious thing, and we can't, throw away that trust. If we throw away that trust, we throw away everything we stand for. So therefore, we have to have mechanisms. We do have mechanisms that enable us to ensure that what we're putting in the paper or putting on the website is been looked at, is objective as it needs to be, is about telling the story without over-egging the story. So again, I think that's at the heart of the trust, because the Sydney Morning Herald brand has to stand for something. It stands for nearly 180 years worth of journalism. It stands for 180 years being in Sydney, in New South Wales, in Australia. It stands for a lot of things. So we got to forever work on ways to maintain that trust. One way we do that, for instance, is what we're forever talking to our readers. We have our readers' online panels every week. We have regular qualitative and quantitative research into readers. What are they thinking? What are they liking? What are they not liking? We have a pretty well developed complaints mechanism, which is run by our excellent executive editor, Peter Kerr. So if someone has a complaint or concern about the Herald, it goes to him, he follows it up. We try and turn that around as fast as we can within 24 hours. And if we have to take action, then we take action if we get things wrong. I mean, we all know that newspapers and websites, they're not perfect, but we try at all points in the production cycle to make sure we're telling people that, that we're testing, we're holding this information up to the light, and that's the basis of our trust, and that's the basis of our transparency. People can call us up. I've only this morning had a one-on-one meeting with a reader, sat down with him, long-term Herald reader, had some concerns, very legitimate concerns, listened to him, took on board what he was saying. You can't, long gone if they ever were, but long gone are the idea that you could sort of somehow sit on a mountain and throw your pearls of wisdom down. That's not true at all. I mean, if anything, the digital world has made us, very much more transparent. It's instant, it's on the go. People are in your face all the time. If you get something wrong, they tell you. And that's great, that's great.
Great. So regarding the new media, the new technologies, what kind of things have you been doing to keep up to date, and what impact is this having on your printed product?
I think, as I said before, I think in the printed product, we need to be really mindful that we're not just telling people yesterday's news. So I think the printed product, as I said, needs to go the why, the what next. It really puts a premium on journalism that unearths stuff, that unearths stories, that investigates, that takes people to places they haven't been. In the digital space, we're forever improving the website. We've launched in recent times the National Times, which is a political website mainly for views and news about politics. Business Day and National Times together, both leaders in the field for online hits. We have 11 million video streams a month, mainly coming out of Sydney and Melbourne. That's a remarkable number. What a remarkable number. We're moving into this area with Stephanie and Mike around data visualization. That gives information that you're not probably going to see in print, but you're going to see it online. And what's wonderful about it is that people can cut that information up or use that information and interrogate that information to ask questions that they want answered. So it's a really wonderful interactive tool. Coming on stream, the iPad. We've already launched the smart edition of the iPad. That's the smart edition of the Sydney Morning Herald on the iPad. We're now working full steam on the native app, and that's going to be another completely different iPad design product. Very exciting. The future is multi-platform, and as I say, it's a very exciting time to be in journalism. Very exciting.
Great, that's really good. But I will ask you one last question.
Are you clapping as you're doing that?
What's being done here at Fairfax to address the skilling of staff for these new media technologies, and also the motivation of staff during this time of great change?
Motivation of staff, we got to stop and start with staff, because they're the people who produce the content. They're the people who go out, they're the face of the Herald, if you like. So I try and be as open and honest with the staff as I possibly can. Yes, we live in a kind of a difficult time. There's no doubt about it. There's a lot of talk. I think we're through the worst of that. We saw what happened in the US last year, 10 newspapers closing, those sorts of things. Didn't happen here. Sydney Morning Herald went through that, but yes, it was a tough year, but we're through it. And we've got all these other exciting things to play with. So I think as long as you're sort of telling stuff, I mean, the point is that the staff believe in it. The journalism, they believe in it. They want to do it. That's why they're here. My job in a way is just to enable, give them the skills and the motivation and the leadership to enable them to do that. I'm very blessed. They're great staff. They're great staff. Yes, we've got to do a bit of skilling up for online. We've got to do, not just online, for all these things that are coming. We're very mindful of that. We have an in-house training program. We're going to do that. We're going to do more as it becomes apparent what we need. I mean, I think one of the tricks here is not to get too far ahead of the curve and train people in something that possibly is superseded. So we've got to match the training with what is coming. So I mean, that doesn't mean we're sluggish, but just there's no point being training in one area when you actually wanted to be in another. Constant improvement, that's what we're about. Constant improvement, constant feedback, constantly trying to make the product as good and as sharp and as effective as possible. Because at the end of the day, we need to have a relationship with audiences. Audiences, our readers, our people, they're our lifeblood, and we need to love them. We need to love them.